Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to whatever the fuck this
Poop
is.
fart.
Yeah, it's not poop fart, you piece of shit.
God
My name is
damn it.
Sushifishninja. This is Gerbiliscious, the co-host. I feel like some of you guys were confused about that. It seemed a few people were confused. You are most definitely the co-host of this situation.
Well, I mean, you like to run your mouth. I let you go. You want to do the intros, you want to do the outros, you do your thing. I'll sit here, be quiet, and look cool.
Fucking be a good boy and just listen. That's all you need to do. Welcome back. This is episode number 2. We still don't quite have a name for it. We had a couple people suggest some stuff. I'd forget them, so we'll just move on from that. But I'm stoked to be doing this more than once a month, and I know a handful of people were telling me they wanted it to be done more, and I told them to go bother you about it instead of bothering me. I was like, I'll do it every fucking week.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. It's a good fucking time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking to you, so it's kind of whatever, you know.
You are a piece of shit. Okay, so let's recap a couple things. So we were talking about some games last time, and we were talking about Greedfall, and a game happened to come out that to me swept into kind of the thing I was talking about that I was interested in, and I've been playing it non-goddamn stop, and it's Remnant from the Ashes.
Yeah.
Have you got your hands on this game at all yet, or seen anything, or what are your thoughts?
I've seen a little. I'm just not interested.
Why? It's so fucking cool.
It's just not my style of game, and I get shit for this stuff all the time because I won't try something.
I mean, it's fair.
You know, I just don't like that style of game is all. And I get it. If I played it, I might very well like it, but I have so many games I really want to play coming up that I don't want to put something new in there, you know.
So what makes this game different in comparison to something like Greedfall? What makes it different?
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's technically Remnant can be viewed as a role-playing game.
Yeah, for sure.
But your decision making isn't there.
Okay, that's what you like. You're digging that shit. Okay,
I want my story to change because I made a decision. You know?
Well, on the contrary, it kind of does. Because all the levels are like procedurally generated and such, and all of like the maps and the layouts and everything. There are world bosses, but the story bosses as well can become an issue when you kill one or the other. So, for example, there's a king, and if you give him what he wants, he gives you a weapon and you die. And if you don't give him what he wants, or you refuse to seek what it is that he wants you to give him, you have to fight him.
Yeah.
It's
that's
like
the most
it's like
basic.
Yeah. It's very, very minor. And it really doesn't change the game as far as it fleshes out. Like the end is still the exact.
Yeah, you're just fighting somebody else. Like the difference between that and Greedfall is there are 4 separate large endings.
Okay.
And a million different paths to take to get to any of those endings.
So you like that? You like the idea that like, if I make this decision, it could actually fuck up like a lot of things. Or I can't talk to this person and buy stuff from them because they're pissed because I hang out with this guy.
Kind of like that's oversimplification. Like, because I want it to be like the real world where if the president says, this isn't important to us, other countries get mad at you, kind of thing.
Oh, you want it on like a large scale.
Yeah, so it's basically kind of like real life where, like in Greedfall, if you're helping somebody and that might make somebody else angry, but if you look at it from a larger perspective, it's not a one-on-one thing, person to person. It's this tribe, this civilization, who is at odds with the other civilization, and you choosing between the two, you're degrading one and lifting another up,
I see.
And that changes the balance of the world.
Okay.
So what happens in the background?
Not the game for you.
Yeah. So what happens in the background, because that is maybe something you don't see and you don't find out about until later, is that because you've helped out one tribe or whatever, they've become stronger and they're making raids on the other tribe that you've weakened. And you didn't know that was going to happen, but because you help them, it does. And then you're like, oh shit, now what do I do?
Fuck. Okay. See, Remnant's very much a not thinky game. It's like, hey, point, shoot, little point. Like, just that's kind of thing.
And like the ideas of really large bosses, I've always kind of not liked.
I
like sponginess, it drives me crazy.
I'm trying to think of what you possibly saw as a large boss, because I've only the rest of them are not much bigger.
Well, not necessarily in
how the
size.
fuck do we kill this thing?
Not necessarily in size.
Like
more
health.
Bullet sponginess, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely like to kill a boss. It's not like it's definitely like a 10-15 minute ordeal.
Yeah, that drives me insane. That drives me insane. Yeah, hate it.
Kind of like, oh, did you ever play Destiny?
I played over 3,000 hours of the original Destiny.
So we've talked about Destiny ad nauseum. But how did you like Destiny?
I loved it.
Did you fuck with the raids at all?
I did. In the original Destiny, I did every single raid.
Same.
Multiple times, yeah.
And that didn't drive you insane? Because that's like bullet sponge to the goddamn maximum.
It is, but there was something about that game that pulled me in. I don't know that I can explain it. I know, yes, bullet sponginess, super annoying, but also it is a boss at the end of a raid that can take upwards of 3 or 4 hours. So
the raid itself could take 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's at the end of the raid. Yeah. So I think it's a fitting end to something that takes that long.
You earned this fight, sort of thing.
Yeah. Like, if I just randomly run into an area and find a guy that's like a foot taller than me, and that's it.
A cloudy door.
Yeah, and I have to spend 15-20 minutes fighting. Fuck that.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's kind of why I like Witcher. Witcher is kind of perfect for that. Some of the fights, like the bosses that have an actual large health bar.
I've been on that game for a minute.
Yeah, I just finished the main storyline last night.
Hell yeah!
But like, you can have a big boss and still take him down quickly as long as you're fighting correctly, but it's never going to take you 15 minutes.
There was some big ass thing you just slapped the shit out of. Like, you were like literally talking to me as you were killing it, and it was like you're like just rolling around and smacking the shit out of it. And then you killed it and moved on like it wasn't a deal.
Yeah, it might be over leveled.
Yeah, a little bit. It seemed like it. It seemed like it. So
I like doing side quests.
It's interesting. So it's like a reward thing for you. Like, you want it to be all this work, puzzles or not, that kind of thing. And then when you're fighting this boss, you're like, okay,
I've earned it.
We bust our ass to get up here, so let's fuck this dude up. I get it. Oryx is the first thing that comes to mind with me for that. He was probably the most troublesome, I think, that I've had with Destiny boss.
Well, for me, it was a whole new experience doing anything like that. So the original raid, Vault of Glass, was
oh my god, so
crazy,
dude. The fucking I forget what's Oryx's fucking son's Crota. Crota is the first raid that we got on the moon. And I remember, for those of you that have never fucking played D1 or didn't play D1 before they had like the companions and shit, you would have to sit in the lobby and message people and be like, hey, you trying to run a raid? Hey, you trying to run a raid? And try to get people to run with you. But like running Crota, and this is the first like any of us have ever seen something like this. So no one's like figuring it out piece by piece, or like hearing through the grapevine that like, oh, somebody figured out the bridge, or they figured out how to cheese the bridge. We're like, oh shit! Like, it was such a fucking cool feeling. I don't feel like Destiny 2 carries that kind of weight anymore.
No, it got nerfed, and it might be a little late for them to get any of that fan base back. But I think them being on their own, they're making the right moves with the upcoming Shadowkeep.
Yeah, I always skip the summer stuff because the summer stuff's always really, really grindy. I like the beginning of the year and the end of the year stuff that they do. But like, well, because the summer thing's like, you got all this time. Let's fucking, here's everything to grind, and it's all hour based. I'm like, no. But like, I'm talking like the player base was much smaller. So when stuff got figured out, it got figured out in such a slower time, and it moved through the communities slower. Now, when somebody figures out a cheese, if they figured it out Tuesday and I go to attempt it Thursday, it's already been patched out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't get to try it. Or if a gun came out and it's a, it's a 14-hour grind minimum to get it, you get it. It's super overpowered. Kotaku puts the fucking article out that it's busted as shit, and then it's nerfed on Thursday. Like I don't get to try the overpowered shit or like find the cheese. Like you don't get to do that anymore because the player base is so big. Word travels way too fast. I think Reddit has a lot to fucking do that as well.
Well, kind of is what it is.
It is what
it's
it
handy.
is.
It's handy to have that info immediately.
No doubt about it. It's definitely handy. But I think it's really cool that's like when you put it down like that, like that's what you're trying to go for as far as your games.
Oh yeah, well, like I mean, that is my favorite type of game, and it's been like talking about RPGs. It's been so long since there's been one like that, and for me, I know there's a lot of exceptions that other people will put in there, but for me, that ability to change the world around you, I haven't seen anything like that since Dragon Age Inquisition, and now I'm excited for the 10th to be coming up here in a couple weeks. I can finally try it again.
That's a huge game. It seems like almost every time you interact with somebody, it was like this whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like that though.
Like every time you interacted with somebody, it was like, this is gonna change this and that.
Yeah. It's what I like.
So did you ever finish Firewatch?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
It's a short game.
It's very short.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Not the best ending, but overall, I mean, it was a fun game.
That was a really bummer as an ending.
The start was a bummer, and then it ended as a bummer too.
Cool game, man. I feel like the guy who made it he like manic depressive. That's what it felt like. It's like I feel like I'm living.
Maybe it was based on his real life.
I mean, it very well could have been. Firewatch guy.
Yeah.
It'd be a weird job. I always thought that when I was looking at that game. Like that's their job, is to sit in the tower, chill.
Important.
Yeah, it's definitely important, but it's like I'd be so goddamn bored.
Yeah.
Bored out of
You'd
my
probably bring a
mind.
PlayStation and a TV.
You got your fucking ass. I would, dude. But they're playing all kind. I'd bring a PlayStation, just a regular one, just for fucking with some nightmare creatures. Hell yeah, dude.
You're a weird dude.
That's a good fucking game, dude. You never played Nightmare Creatures? The game's scary as shit.
No. Nah, son. Speaking of cool games, there are some cool games coming out.
We got
Tuesday. Control and another game, Ancestors.
What's this Control game?
Control is it's like third person action adventure. Where you're able to use what's the word I'm looking for? Telekinesis?
Telekinesis. Mind?
Is that where you move things with your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're able to use that in the game to fight and do stuff like that.
Like Psychonauts.
It's a lot better.
How dare you, first of all. I went back and tried to play that game I think a couple months ago, and I was like, fuck, this game is clunky, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's like this game, you got your supernatural abilities, upgrades, and other loadouts, stuff you can do. And all the environments are dynamic. So, picking up like a filing cabinet and chucking it at somebody is totally possible. Stuff like that. And everything is destructible too. Kind of like Far Cry games to a certain point,
Far Cry Half-Life.
Or probably more like Rage.
Oh, okay.
Rage 2 and your ability, just everything can be destroyed,
Rage was such a fucking cool game. I feel like Rage 2 had to be a little more like ridiculous. I feel like they had to push away from kind of Rage 1 because of that fucking where the driving around in the goddamn desert, Mad Max, that kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
I think because of how popular the new Mad Max got, they had to like sit around so they weren't. It's a Mad Max game.
Yeah, maybe. I never played the original Rage. I did play Rage 2 though. But
I gotta say, Rage 2 is probably the most surprising sequel to a video game I've fucking seen. Because Rage was such a that game. It's kind of how it was.
It's
like,
kind of fun to run around and just blow everything up.
Yeah, it is cool as shit. It's it's comparable to the flies around like Mexico and shit. It just blows shit up. What the fuck is that game called?
I have no idea.
Stop yelling at me, everyone. It's
Metal Gear Solid.
oh fuck no. Oh, Just Cause. I got it. Just Cause. You ever play those?
No.
Yeah, talk about just like, hey, look, a person. Let me put a fucking grappling hook on him, attach her to a.
Yeah,
That's what you.
yeah. I've seen some crazy videos of that game.
That's a. I've never played that game seriously for a fucking second. I just turn it on and go walk around and.
Yeah.
So this okay. So I've heard about the other game you're talking
And Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
Okay, so I've heard a couple people talk about this. A couple people brought it to my attention. You seem to be very stoked about
it. It looks really fucking cool.
Explain it to me a little.
All right, so you are basically it's a third person open world, but it's also survival. Okay. So like obviously, lockdown? You know, no.
Okay.
It's crazy good graphics. What you're doing is you are an ape, and basically it's all about evolution. So you're starting 10 million years ago as an ape, and you're working your way towards humankind becoming human. I mean, obviously you're not going to.
Is it right not off like the bat. Sport? Oh, it is like Sport.
I never played Sport, but you are an ape running around a giant open world jungle, finding new things. You can fight boars. You can try a mushroom off of a tree and find out that it's poisonous. And so what happens with that is, do you have any thoughts on genetic memory?
Like the idea that take my memories and put it into
your offspring genetically will have stuff that's hard coded in your DNA. Like if you've never seen a rattlesnake before, and you're walking through the desert and you hear the rattle,
right?
You don't know anything about rattlesnakes. You never heard of them. Never seen one.
No, that's
what's your first instinct?
Something
exactly.
Scary.
Yeah. So, but why do you know that if you've never seen one or heard of anything about it?
Fuck, this game's way too smart. This is cool as shit, though.
Okay, so you eat the poisonous mushroom,
right?
You get sick, and you've noted it down. Never eat those mushrooms again. So what they've done is like neurons in your brain fire, and that's how information is transferred through your brain. What they do is they take you to like a neuron screen, and it's becomes hard coded in your neuron system that these mushrooms are bad. And as you learn stuff, you grow older and older, 15 years, and then you die, but you've had children. And then when your child starts exploring the jungle, they already know mushrooms bad. I can use a stick as a lever and use it to pry up rocks because I've learned that in the past life. So all that knowledge is already there for the next generation. And you just keep gaining knowledge and moving on from one generation to the next.
Fuck.
And it's literally spanning from 10 million years ago to 2 million years ago. So I don't know how long it takes. You know, you grow up.
This sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. And the graphics look great. Like it says, grow your clan and find strength in numbers as you progress through critical evolutionary stages. Your choices will write your clan story. So you're not just helping yourself, but the entire clan. You grow your territory. You're exploring all over the jungle. Yeah, and you choose how you survive. You could become totally war focused and try to take out everything around you to carve out your own area for your clan. Or you can, go about it trying to be as intelligent as possible. Yeah.
You always have such cool one-player games. Solo games.
That's I'm a one-player game person.
Yeah, I know. You always have such. I'm like, I'm ready for a Halo Master Chief collection to come out on Steam. I mean, I'm actually excited. October is going to be bananas for.
Is it?
October, pretty much this year. I know I'm looking at Neon Tail. We're looking at Session. Both kind of nostalgic throwbacks to game. Jet Set Radio Future and Skate series. Those are gonna be cool as fuck. We got The Last of Us 2 coming out soon. I love The Last.
Never played it.
What, bro? You're a one-player guy, and you've never played probably the best one-player story ever told.
For the longest time, wasn't it only on PlayStation?
Yeah. That's fair. Okay,
There you go.
brother. Invest. Finish Witcher. Go play The Last of Us.
Pass.
Pass? What the fuck do you mean pass? Explain yourself right this very second.
Don't care.
Don't care? Why? It's a great game.
Me.
It's not a cult thing. It's a great game.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. I'm
Did you
sure
play
it's a
the
wonderful
Uncharted
game.
games?
No, I
Good.
don't.
I don't like those.
Ooh, I don't have a goddamn
I
PlayStation.
keep forgetting. Also PlayStation. You forget things are PlayStation.
I would love to.
exclusive
I
when
would
they're
love to
always
play
in
it.
your hands.
Yeah, I would have loved to play all the Uncharted games. I always like that kind of game. That's why I get the Tomb Raider games. You know.
The Uncharted games are okay. Like, don't try to crucify me for saying I don't like them. They're good. The story's great. The humor is wonderful. The wit and the conversation between all the characters is phenomenal. The landscapes are ungoddamn believable. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about the game. It's just they didn't leave an imprint on me as far as like, oh,
Yeah, I enjoy the puzzles and climbing and all that stuff. So.
it's neat. But I literally cannot understand. You're not gonna play The Last of Us 2?
No, not if
I
it's
don't
only on
understand.
PlayStation.
I don't understand. I don't think it is. I don't think it's an exclusive. Might be. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like when The Last of Us came out, like 2013, 14.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah, I mean, so like going back now feels kind of no fun to me at this point.
What do you mean? Didn't you go back and play a game that's fucking 20 years old not too long ago?
What game?
Your Dragon Age game? How old is that goddamn game?
That's a game I know I like.
Yeah, but how old is it?
Old.
Okay.
2013 or 14.
Yeah, it's a fucking suck a dick. Go play fucking The Last of Us, dude. It's great, dude. I'm telling you, you're not gonna be that. Like, I'm glad I played this.
I'm sure I would enjoy it.
I know you. Making me angry that you're not saying you're like, I should check it out.
I got other things on my plate. I just told you. Control.
Those
and
games
Ancestors.
are out. The Last of Us
They're-
is out.
They're out tomorrow.
Fuck. Somebody tell him how to speedrun them. Play The Last of Us, damn it.
I got schoolwork to do today, bitch. I probably won't be playing any video games. I'm getting smart. Goddamn right, I'm a nerd. That's why
Since
I'm so pretty.
Gerbiliscious won't play good games, we'll
Whoa.
Sure.
Go play some more Call of Duty, motherfucker.
I am, bitch. I'm playing today.
Oh, gross.
I got
Look,
drunk
I'm
at
just
9.
I'm gonna shoot stuff and it's boring and it's bad and
Well, just
nobody
'cause I can't
loves
throw
you.
fireballs out of my hands doesn't mean it's not a good game, all right?
That's like the number one requisite for a good game is being able to shoot fireballs out of your hands. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, your games do sound cool as fuck. A lot of people are after listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Looks like we're committed. Gotta play it. I'm excited. I want to play it. It looks cool as shit.
Yeah, I already own Greedfall, Ancestors, and Control. So
Hell yeah.
I got Control with the new GPU for free, so gotta play it.
See, Remnant was really fun. It's still really fun. Don't get me wrong, but this is what I end up doing, and this is why it's difficult for me to play games like that. Because when I get into it, and it's a new experience for me, kind of similar to the conversation we were having last week. I don't really know what to do with it on stream. Like Remnant, I've played on stream like once, but I have maybe 30 hours into the game. Like I played the fuck out of it. I've beaten the game 14 times.
What, is that short?
No, I was one of the first like 100 people to get to the boss, and I just ran people through the boss, or because no one knows how to beat it. Literally, still to this, like very few people know how to beat the final boss. Like they don't understand the mechanic for some. I just ran
This is
people.
why I think we need video in our podcast. Because my puzzled look of you're kind of a douchebag when you're saying this really needs to be seen right now.
It's not. I'm not
Because
kind of a douchebag. I was just
you can't
explaining
hear the
it.
face I'm making.
I can hear the face you're fucking making. I definitely can. It's factual. I played the game 3 days before it was general pop release. Most people aren't going to invest in a game like that. Don't, unless they like really like the game. So most people didn't. And fair enough to them, because the 3 days that we had it before release had quite a few bugs that were like really like fuck this. And then they got fixed. And everything was Gucci. Like the last boss got really fucked up. Got stuck in like beat him. And as I killed him, I went down. And we didn't get to watch the final cutscene. Stuck in the boss room fighting him. But we were given all the rewards. It's kind of a really like.
So here's my question. What else is there to do in the game now?
Okay, so because it's procedurally generated, there's bosses and items and stuff that I didn't get an opportunity to get because they didn't generate on my role. So by playing in other people's games, I have the opportunity to get them, or by re-rolling my campaign and upping my difficulty, I have access to other things as well.
So, but to do that, you're just playing all the same content over again and possibly at a more higher difficulty?
Yes and no. So I'm playing at a higher difficulty, which is by the time you end game, and if you've explored like a little bit, you'll have enough trait points and stuff to kind of level yourself out to an appropriate place to play it on hard mode. And by running it again, I don't know if there is a 100% opportunity, or maybe it's 50. I don't really know what it's like to possibly repeat an entire campaign again, but you can reroll your campaign at any given time. So if you are only trying to fight a particular boss in the front half of the game, then you can continue to and it's only about 15 minutes of running to figure out, okay, this boss isn't here. Then you just re-roll your campaign. You do it again. You don't lose anything. You don't reset anything. Yeah, all your stuff stays.
That's fine and dandy. The problem is there's nothing new for you to do. It just gets harder.
No. There is. So I'm saying these different bosses that I never got to fight, different puzzles and areas that I never got to do, different mini dungeons and things like that.
Is there not a finite amount of them?
There is a finite. Yeah, I would say the replayability of this is probably re-rolling your campaign 3 times max.
Ugh.
But at the same time, you may never do that. There's plenty of people who definitely only play. They only play their story. And when you play, like if I invite you to the party and you join, you're playing my story. You're not playing yours. So your progression in my story means nothing to you other than the loot that you're getting to take back to your story. And then if you invite me to yours, now I'm playing on yours, and we spin it and we do it that way. That's the only difference. So, and there is 3-man parties. So you can basically have a 3-rolled campaign if you're lucky enough for all 3 of you to get different roles, and all 3 of you play it through. You could probably beat the whole shebang between the 3 of you in like 6 hours. That's like exploring every little bit and doing all the little bits and bobs, and then you'd have everything in the game. You'd be done.
That sounds horrendous.
It's fun. I like it a lot. I think what's interesting about it though is the idea that, and I don't know for sure, but it kind of feels that way, that because we set it to hard mode and made it harder, that we had access to other stuff. Because between 4 people that we were running their 5 people's campaigns we were running, me and Kovac could not find a particular boss at all. And then as soon as we switched to hard mode, ran right into him. It was very interesting.
Yeah, my board meter is off the fucking charts right now.
Wow, dude, you fucking suck. Why don't you go play The Last of Us and stop being a piece of shit?
Well, because even The Last of Us doesn't love you.
All right, dude, I'm sick of you. Okay, so let's talk about old fucking TwitchCon.
Okay.
I'm not going now for a sling of a couple of reasons. But it's the convention itself. The idea of the convention does not sound interesting.
Yeah, you just want to go see all the people,
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to go hang out with people, but like standing in a line to like get a hug and a picture from Tim the Tap Man's like,
no, don't give a shit about that.
No, I'm good, dog. I don't even want to. Dude, I would rather walk past Shroud and him flip me off than stand in line to do a game.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
It would be kind of dope. Like, yo, what's up, Shroud? He's like, fuck you. I'm like, oh, sick.
Yeah, I mean, kind of is what it is.
I don't know, dude. What have you ever gone to like a con or anything like that?
No, never. I almost went to Comic-Con when I was living in San Diego, but I ended up working instead. So
I heard they're taking Comic-Con out.
Beats me. I'm not really up on the con stuff because there's almost never any chance that I'm going to go. Like, I really wanted to go to TwitchCon just to meet everybody in person, but kind of not really in the cards. So
Little
apparently
difficult.
It's expensive and schoolwork is important and blah blah blah.
What about what about esports stuff? You ever gone to any of that stuff at all?
No, but that's because I think it's all stupid.
Why do you think it's stupid?
I just, yes, are they the best players in the world? Maybe. Probably, but do I give a shit? No. I'm not interested. Especially 90% of the games are just games I detest.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever watch the PUBG tournaments and stuff, like the world tournament?
I did, but the professional ones, while they have a little bit of interest for me, just based on like tactics, team tactics and stuff, I'd much rather watch somebody that's entertaining, like Dr. Disrespect rage at having bad lag on PUBG.
I can understand that. Like,
like
to me, it's toxic. It's so toxic to the community. To me, because metas get involved.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fucking the meta. Like in the recent Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the meta is the SOG, which is an SMG, or the Maddox, which every Call of Duty, if you track it back, has, right? But you have these players that only use these guns because the pros use them. They only use these setups because the pros use them. And like, if they're fucking god awful with the gun, it does not matter. Yeah. Overwatch is another big one. The team metas. You'd have like 4 people that are only playing these characters because of the team meta. They're absolute dog shit with them. Have the audacity to tell you to switch because it's the meta. Blows my goddamn mind.
I play video games for fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so, dude.
Like, if I want to use a sword and a rocket launcher,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. I thought when I was younger, I had an opportunity to be, like a paid player, and then you see these kids play, and you're like, but once you get into it and you understand that they are spending 6 to 7 hours a day playing the same fucking 10 other people every day, they don't play something else for fun. That's not in the wheelhouse. Not a thing. If they're off, they're probably running like video strat stuff, but they're not, like it's not a I'll go play Blood and Zelda. No, you don't get to do that. Go play this game. Like, you have to love it. I've never loved any of them that much. Well, I've only loved one Call of Duty that much. I played it that much. I also wasn't working at the time, so I was able to put in all the hours. It definitely felt like I was running it all the time, but I don't know. I would love to go to one of those events. I think it'd be cool as shit. I know our buddy Timmy Beta went to one last year. It was really cool. But
dude also likes watching professional disc golf. So really, are we?
Listen, you motherfucker. Disc golf is so much fun to play, and it's so much fun to watch.
It is fun to play, but am I going to watch disc golf, the Delaware Disc Golf Championships on YouTube. No, I'm not.
Should.
Quit recommending it. YouTube.
You should watch
Go
it.
fuck yourself, YouTube.
They know you're a fat white Caucasian person. They're gonna want to watch it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We talking about fat now?
Yeah, dude. Talk about fat
going
and disc
here?
golf. They go hand in hand. Listen, it's okay. It's fun to watch because you're like, you are never gonna get to go to that course and throw. So you're like, oh, this is really cool looking. How do they throw this course? You get to watch them throw it, and you get to learn a thing or two about how to throw the disc to maybe make them do it the way that they do it. But it's not like it's something you sit down and like just stare at. You're like, shit, he's about to throw from the tee. Let's see how he drives this. You're not gonna. That's not what you're doing. You're just watching. Like, oh shit, that was a good throw. Or watch him somebody make like a putt from really far. Like, holy fuck, that's like impossible. How do you do that? Kind of like that.
I get that. Still boring.
I don't know how that ended up on your YouTube recommended. They probably must have.
Yeah, I know.
They
I
must
don't
have
know.
paid out big time to get the algorithm.
I don't know what the hell that was all about.
That's
but,
so silly.
I mean, I play disc golf whenever I have two friends, two real friends that'll be there for me my whole life, and not like I'm there for them.
Right on.
And we went to college together, and every time we meet up, we play disc golf. Problem is, we don't go to a course and do it. We be out hiking in Alaska or in Utah and be in slot canyons playing disc golf. That's way more fun to me
Yeah, that's cool as
than
shit.
being on a course.
That's super cool.
I mean, like, we're at Bryce Canyon in Utah. Don't know if you know it.
No.
Really cool canyon system, bunch of crumbling rocks and stuff. Went up on top of one of the highest points we could get to, and then set, a specific tree as our hole.
Oh, Bryce Canyon's pretty.
When my buddy, who's the best out of all of us, threw his disc, we lost track of it because there was an updraft that comes up.
Oh no.
And it just, we parked a mile and a half away, and it was about halfway to the vehicle before we found it. So we threw it 3/4 of a mile because that wind just lifted. It was going down at the tree, and then it just hit that updraft and shot up higher in the air about another 150 feet and just kept going. Yeah. That's the kind of fun stuff I like. Just out randomly doing stuff. Of course, I don't smoke weed anymore, so that was a big part of it too.
Dude, I never realized when I first started playing the culture of smoking while you play. Massive. Like some of the shops we'd go to buy discs, like they got fucking bongs and shit in the back. Like,
No, that's funny.
it's a hand in hand. It was always funny because people would be like, "You want to hit our bowl?" Like, "No, I'm good, man." "Okay, dude, you go ahead, play on through. We're gonna chill." I'm like, "All right, sick." And then you tee off and they'd be like, "Dude, nice throw." I'm like, "Thanks, man." "See you later, dude." Later, man.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it was super fun. We used to play a lot. A couple years ago. Play a shit ton, especially when I was working at the vape shop. Play almost all the time. I don't play nearly as much anymore. I haven't played probably in 2 seasons. God damn it. Yeah, I haven't played in a while, but it's a fun game. It's probably one of the more fun sports I kept playing from a teenager into adulthood. I definitely can't skate anymore because I'm not a psychopath that thinks my bones don't break, because they do. I'm like, I can't exactly afford to break my arm because I thought I could still do a kickflip.
Yeah.
I stay the fuck away from that.
I would love to watch that though.
I love skating. I haven't skated
No, I
in so
mean,
long, though.
I
Watch
mean
me
you
break my arm.
your arm. Yeah.
That's your piece.
Why is that bad? You'll be fine. It's just an arm. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I need it. I need it to do a lot of
Come
things.
on. If Shroud can fall off a scooter and be in that arm cast,
First of all, Shroud's go like 30 miles an hour and fuck his arm up. And Shroud also can afford to play games at a shitty capacity and still get paid a fuck ton to do it. I have to go to my job that requires both my arms to lift things.
Get stronger with one arm. Everybody loves it.
Okay, so I think we covered, what have we covered? Everything pretty much, yeah.
You were talking about esports. like obviously I have different feelings, but I don't think you ever went into.
I'd love it. I really love watching them. I the other night was watching CWL. I watched CWL. I watched Rocket League, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six all at the same time. And they're also vastly different as to your viewing experience. Like Call of Duty is very much, watch the players, and the casters and the hosts are all either ex-pros or like they are personalities of the Call of Duty community, that kind of thing. So it's really cool to watch that typically. But one of the funniest fucking things was watching the Rainbow Six league, and they were like in this pearlescent white room, fucking decked out in Armani suits. Like and the thing is, I don't know these guys, so I don't know anything about that sport in particular or the players. So I don't know if these are like ex-players or something. But like they were running down the strats of this game and like how this team played this other team to the point where I felt like I was in a classroom. I should be taking notes. It was so ridiculous. And the Rocket League guys are just as impressed about things happening as like that an average viewer would be. Like when something crazy happens, they're just as impressed about the fucking move as like the average viewer or even like the average player would be, which is super cool.
That's the kind of blows my mind about esports is micro machine soccer can get you thousands of dollars.
Dude, anything can, man. It's kind of crazy. Like some of my favorite games that were pretty much like one-offs of like a 6-month run and then they died had like major tournaments for a lot of money, and then they were like, okay, servers are gone, see you guys later. Like that was their whole thing. Like this such a fun game, it's called Radical Heights. It's such a shitty like terrible BR, really fucking goofy, but it was really fun to play. But they had like a fucking $10,000 tournament or something at the end of its life, which was not very long.
Yeah, I remember that game. Just they ran out of money.
Well, they didn't really have money to start with. I think
exactly.
they were really banking on people buying shit in the game.
Yeah,
but it was such a fun game. No, it didn't work. It's such a fun game though. But yeah, they did a big old tournament. Dr. Lupo ended up winning the tournament for it, like making all the money.
Yep.
But yeah, esports viewing, like Overwatch seems very classy, very thought of in a high accord. And then you have Rocket League, which is very much like an observer's sport. I don't think to my recollection of things I've seen, not a lot of people are getting real rowdy in it. And then you got Rainbow Six, which again, that one's it's 50-50, but it also depends on where they do it. And a lot of times I've seen they do it in like London or France and things like that. So I think the transference of Call of Duty World League hanging out in fucking Columbus, Ohio, where everybody's getting hammered on $6 beers and fucking flipping their shit when FaZe or Optic does something, versus this cathedral hall they hold the Rainbow Six tournaments in France.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it'd probably be cooler in France.
It would actually be like, it would be super cool to like watch. Like it'd be super cool. I know a couple of people who went like a year ago, 2 years ago. They said it was really fucking nice, like just hanging out.
Like the thing about the esports stuff for me is just like all the commentator stuff is just so annoying.
It really is.
I don't go to people's streams who are really good at the game they play, like Crafty playing Apex or Shroud playing basically any shooter game ever. I don't go in there to be told what they're doing and why.
Just
let me watch the player and shut your mouth.
Yeah, just let me see him do it. But at the same time, I can appreciate a good caster, somebody who's explaining.
Never seen one ever.
Yeah, I watch World League. Call of Duty World League.
Every caster for every game is a cringe.
No, sir. Now listen, so like the good casters are people who've played the game, like obviously to a huge extent, but they're explaining what they would think the thought process of why this like especially in a slower game, it's a little easier to do it. but they're explaining what they think that person is doing this for. Actually, I have to say I really enjoyed watching the Fortnite World Cup. As someone who doesn't play that game anymore, I understood why they were doing what they were doing, and when they would make a move, or if they were about to do something, I understood that. I understood, okay, this person's about to start tunneling, which is on the edge of circle, and they're building their way into the new circle so they don't have to get shot and they don't have to engage with anyone. I didn't even know that was a term or a thing, but the way the announcers were bringing it up and talking about it, I understood it. It was almost like I had been playing the whole time. Like I got why they were doing what they were doing. So it's really cool when you have experienced announcers, and I think it really, again, like I was saying, depends on the game for them to be able to do it. I think it really depends on how fast paced the game is, because it's kind of difficult to narrate something like Call of Duty where in a span of 7 words you could have 4 different players die from both teams. So it's kind of hard to, and you gotta, and there's a separate person switching the cameras. You know what I mean? Like and that in itself, like the camera work of being able to do it. Something like Rocket League that has an auto, which I don't think they use very often, but it has like an auto camera that'll kind of switch back and forth based on like positioning of the player to the ball, last person to hit the ball, closest person to the ball in the air, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd like to start a petition to change the name of Rocket League, please.
You want to call it Micro Machine?
I want to call it Micro Machine Soccer, because that's what it fucking is.
It used to be called something crazy. What is it called? Sonic Battle Cars? And now I feel like a dummy because I literally just hit a...
I don't care what anybody says. That shit is Micro Machine Soccer.
It's so much fun, dude.
I'm sure it is.
It used to be called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars.
All right. Somebody was on drugs.
Oh, shit. Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Car. What it used to be called. And this was available for the PlayStation 3 in 2008.
Jeez.
That is hilarious. Same game, pretty much.
I didn't know it's been around that long.
Yeah, it's been around.
That's kind of crazy.
I think
still
I don't know when it
so
turned. I don't know when it turned into Rocket League. Oh wait. Oh, so is Rocket League a sequel?
Beats the fuck out of me.
It is. Rocket League is a sequel to that, and that came out in 2015. Okay. Rocket League's not that old.
No.
I thought it was a lot of. Damn.
Learning.
Well, I think I can't think of else. You know what I can't think of? Fucking upgrading equipment on PCs is for the goddamn bird. That's what I'll fucking...
No.
Fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
I will. Ooh, it's the
upgrading
best.
Equipment
Feels so good.
Dog shit.
Feels so good to plug in a brand new USB cord. Right in the 3.0.
Yeah, right in the 3.0. Because I'm like, man, that feels good as shit until I have to go fucking...
What's the problem? Why are you so bad at this?
Why am I so bad at this? Because I legally should not be allowed to own a computer, first of all. On honest to God. Shouldn't be allowed to do it. Shouldn't be allowed to operate this. Here's the thing. I have 2 M.2.
Let's just call it M2, but okay.
Oh, okay. I have 2 M.2 drives. I have the regular HDD drive, physical, and I have my NVMe.
What do you have so many drives for?
Still, because I had a mad storage issue. So my NVMe, just my boot, and anything that is like heavy as fuck on boot ups, load times. So like things like Warframe, Destiny 2, that kind of stuff. So, and then the SSD is just for regular games, Rocket League, Remnant, that kind of stuff. And the HDD where I put things for Photoshop or any of the other shit. That's just where it all just goes. Let it all gather there.
Okay.
I lost an entire day of streaming installing these drives.
Why?
Because it was not as easy.
Plug and play, bro.
It is plug and play, but I had to find. They don't include the screws. I had to find my old screws. Then I've upgraded to Mixer, which is today. I'm using
Can
my
we
new Audio Technica 35 or 2035.
can we just go back for 1 second?
Sure.
What I really want to know
Uh-huh.
is on your M2 drives.
Uh-huh.
Are they screwed directly into the board, or is there a stand nut so laying flat and even, or is it tilted down and diagonal because you screwed it directly to the board?
No, they're flat and even.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I had to find I couldn't find the screws that originally. I found them. I'm a pack rat of all my stuff. So like even like old gear that I'm not using, I still have it. I just had to find out where I put it. Anyway.
That's just a tiny thing that sets me the fuck off.
It's flush. Everything's flush. Everything's clean. So my big problem with now upgrading to an audio setup is getting the audio to mix properly. Now the mixer is very easy to use. It's understanding, which I've never had to route audio like this before. So getting things to be separate so I can mix them. Like for me, I want to be able to mix my game audio and then not turn up for the audience, turn up for me, so that if I'm trying to be a sound whore and listen for footsteps, crank that up a little bit and hear somebody's foot hit some wood, know where that kid is, but I'm not blowing anybody's ears out.
I understand wanting to do that, and that's why it's not why I chose the Go XLR mixer. Number one, it just looks cool.
Trust me, I want to go XLR.
But you aren't able to do what you're saying though.
Why?
Because you're gonna hear what the stream hears.
Really?
Using a Go XLR. Yeah, you can't separate it. All you can do instead is just turn your headphones up.
That works too. But it doesn't turn it up for the audience, right?
Yeah, it doesn't turn it up for the audience.
See, that works.
So you're not you're not separating the sound levels between headset and audience, but you have the ability to change volume on your headset, I'm assuming. So
yeah, I have that. But right now my problem is the audio, when separated, it is separated through an external sound card.
Yeah.
And the goddamn sound card keeps playing shit out of my goddamn microphone. Yeah, dude, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. So a particular gentleman who sold me the mixer is going to help me set it up, and I'm going to front kick him, straight creep him. I'm going to front kick him in his mouth if he doesn't help me set it up today. So, and if it doesn't get set up today, a Go XLR will be sent to my house. It'll be an interesting one.
The major reason why I bought it, besides how freaking cool it looks, is the simplicity of getting it all set up and good to go.
That is like plug and play to the fucking T, isn't it? You just plug it between the goes.
It's pretty close. You know, you got to change your input and outputs on the computer, but that's about it. Yeah, I mean, it's just changing the inputs and outputs, and then you're all set to go. Do whatever the hell you want with it.
Yeah.
You can just be randomly weird butt stuff. Weird butt stuff. And just do that shit over and over again.
Oh, God. He's got his little thing of a jigger.
I like my sampler. It makes me happy.
It is fun. That's the only thing that, because I looked at Go XLRs a long time ago, and that was the only thing I was kind of like, I couldn't find
you just cut out there. Didn't hear a word.
That's weird. I like I was saying, I couldn't find a reason to use it.
Mm-hmm. My reason to use it was like I was trying to, like, you know, I have song request on or whatever, and YouTube videos for songs are different volumes, so one song might be loud and one song might be quiet, but I got tired of all tabbing out of the game and changing the volume all the time.
That's
for every song.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're telling me it's almost always too quiet, but in my headset it was just blasting my ears.
Yeah, dude. They're always, well, for me it's kind of the opposite. They're like, it's so fucking loud. I'm like, that's me. But then but to me, loud is, it hurts.
Yeah, and everything was so loud in my ears that I would turn it way down to like 9% volume, and then they're like, yeah, I mean, we can tell there's music there, just don't know what it is. So
frustrating.
Yeah, it was super frustrating. And then
You what?
getting the Go XLR is just like, hey, all problems over. Worked out
Yeah,
perfectly.
I don't know. I mean, eventually I will. Eventually, I will find my place in this auxiliary microphone world. It's taking much longer than I want. I'm a very impatient person. I want things to be. Sorry, I'm like fucking with it. I want things to be easy. Not everything can be just plug and play. Oh, it works. But like, I want it to be sometimes. So it's kind of it's a pain in my dick to plug and then, oh, what's the issue? I don't understand. And then I'm trying to figure it out. And I have a wonderful community of people who are very, very, very nice and very, very helpful. And they always want to help me get stuff fixed and worked and all that shit. But a lot of them have different either setups or ideas on how to do it, and it gets convoluted. And so I probably could have gotten this figured out, set up, and working by talking to different people, but I'm going straight for the person who used it before. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I want. I want it from the person who did it already.
I'm the exact opposite. I don't want any help. I'll fucking figure it out. Just leave me alone until I get it figured out.
I feel to me there's too much in the delicate balance of my setup for me to go, I'm just gonna plug shit in, for it to just be like not a thing for me to do it that way.
I like doing it that way because that's the way I learned. I learned by trying something. So I have to try it.
And if it
doesn't work, okay, that's the problem that it made. Okay, so if we undo that, try this instead. Okay, now it makes problem B.
I will venture a little bit. I will, I'll walk out of the door a little bit and look around and be like, okay, what if I did this? Then as soon as something is like awful and like didn't work out, I'm like, oh God. And I run back inside and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like if I got to go XLR, I'd be right on you. I'd be like, hey, how'd you do that? I want to set that up and do the same thing you did. So how'd you do it?
I had my setup wrong when I got it and I couldn't figure it out, but they have a awesome Discord server where if you're having any issues.
That's neat.
Yeah, and your questions are answered like immediately by like the mods and stuff.
That's really cool. That's for me, Streamlabs, and a lot of people don't use these, man, but I'm telling you, if you guys are streamers and you use streaming services or attachments to things like OBS, the Discord servers like for Streamlabs and Stream Elements are phenomenal. Phenomenal at getting back to you. Oh yeah, I bet. I don't use Elgato products, but yeah, I bet they're fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
they're really. It's
real quick.
It's a whole nother level to sending an email and hoping somebody sees it in 3 days and gets back to you. But you jump into a Discord. Like Discord servers are basically the direct, email line, and you may not even need to ask anyone. You can paw through it and be like, somebody else had this problem and this is how they got solved.
You know what's actually surprisingly good too? Steel Series.
I heard something weird about them.
It's not streaming related, but like
their customer service is pretty good.
Well, their customer service is, but their Discord.
Oh.
Like if you're having trouble figuring something out, they're like just as snappy as everybody else. Hey, here's what you do, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Elgato stuff is pretty good because I was in a Discord for when the Stream Deck came out, like the big one came out.
Yep.
And I kind of wanted to see like what people were doing with it, but I got to see some cool shit people were using their Stream Decks for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard
do some stuff.
I heard SteelSeries makes you cut one of the headphones off.
They used to, yeah. They didn't have an RMI service because you could have a problem with something that's like in the warranty and it's covered, but maybe it's not actually a broken headset, or a broken mouse. It's just a minor thing.
So
like I had to
break it.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, we can send you one now for free.
So silly.
And okay, so like on my mouse, I love this mouse. It's the Rival 600. All my peripherals are SteelSeries basically. But it has some soft pads on the sides of the mouse.
Okay.
And after probably about a year and a half, one of the pads started like coming unglued off the mouse, and when I would drag it to the right, it would kind of flap open and cause extra drag,
Oh, yeah.
Which was annoying. So I messaged them. They got back to me like within 10 minutes. And they're like, yeah, that's covered by warranty. No problem. Here's what you need to do. You need to pull the left and right mouse buttons completely off of the mouse, essentially breaking the mouse. Um, and then send us a picture of that. And then we'll send you a brand new mouse. And I'm like, I don't have a second mouse I can use. So you want me to go buy another mouse to wait for this mouse to come back? Like, yeah, unfortunately, we're working on a new process. So we don't have to do that anymore. And I'm like, okay, how long is that going to take me? Like, I'm sorry, we're not sure when it's going to be implemented yet. So I didn't break my mouse. I wasn't about to miss 3 or 4 days
Right.
of being able to use my PC. So I just lived with it and never thought about it again. I was just like, okay, well, this is a thing now. This is my mouse. I'll get a new one eventually. I got an email from them the day they started the new RMI process. And they're like, hey, we noticed you never followed through with this RMI. Would you like to do it now that our new process is up? And in 10 seconds of doing it, I had the sides of the mouse are actually modular. They're stuck in with magnets because you can add and remove a weight system inside of that area.
Yeah, it's like my mouse.
And so
one of my old ones is like that too.
Yeah, they sent me both brand new side panels, and I got them like 2 days later. Didn't have to break the mouse anymore. So I thought it was really cool that they were like, hey, we remembered. I'm sure they probably just added me to a list of people, But I think that's a nice touch to say, hey, we finally have a good way of doing returns and warranty issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, the salty one was telling me about that. He was like, yeah, they wanted me to break thing off.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah. I don't think it's like that anymore.
Well, he never finished the whole sending it back to him thing, so he just has a Steel Series headset with one of the cups just fucking off.
Jesus. That sounds about right.
Oh man. But yeah, it's I don't know. the ability to get in touch with these companies is pretty impressive. There's not a lot of companies that are up to that yet. I know an old chair that I used to use. I tried to do some customer service with them, and it was just fucking impossible to get what I wanted from them. I just wanted to talk to them. But like, I know like OPC, their community outreach is impressive. Like, you can pretty much talk to anyone from that company on almost any social media, and its response time is immaculate. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, handy when you can get through all that stuff quickly and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, dude, and have to sit for like days and be like,
or
can't do anything until they email me.
Yeah, or like having to search through forums and stuff to find the answer to your particular problem.
Yeah, when you get into the custom controller world, we're still in that era of, Scuff and Astro and things like that. The being able to talk to these companies is impossible, but being able to find people who have similar issue or have run into the similar problem, very doable and very easy to figure out a way to fix things. And a lot of people, as a company or a product gets older, more and more people make YouTube videos on fixes or how-tos on these products, which is nice. Like the Scuff controller, for example, the paddles have a connector that is receiving the input when you click the paddles. The paddle naturally will get dirty because it's exposed unless it's being clicked. And a lot of people were talking about the input being laggy or non-existent after a certain amount of time of having the product. People were making YouTube videos on how to clean that area and make it basically factory new again without cracking the controller open or anything like that, and getting the resistance back on the paddles so that they don't feel as like rub. Like, the more you press these, because these paddles, they hang off the controller if you've never seen one. So the more you press it, the more of ease it is to press. So it doesn't have that tactic feedback when you hit it. anymore. It's kind of like you just like tap it. It's almost like rubbery at a point. And they were talking about how to restore that stuff and make it, which is a lot of the times the big reason why people buy or send back their scuff controllers to get them fixed, quote unquote.
That's why I like the Elite Xbox controller, because their paddles basically operate the same way, but the way they're pressed and the paddle being metal itself makes it so you don't have that issue. The paddle's always where it's going to be. You know what I mean?
That's why I like the Astra C40 though, because it's not a paddle; they're buttons. It's basically shaped like an Xbox Elite controller, a little heavier, which is something I really like. But the buttons are on the bottom, and they're not sticking out of it, so you're not clicking. It's not. None of them are made awkwardly, so they don't feel awkward when you hold them. But the C40 feels so natural to, like, if you were to hold a controller in your hand, you were to squeeze it, where your middle fingers are, is where these little paddles are, the little buttons, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
And the fact that like the scuff controller is cool because you can remap in like certain places, but the Astro, I can remap everything. I can also increase the dead zones and like the velocity of individual sticks and how quickly they turn on separate axes as well.
Yeah.
And it's got fucking profiles on it though. That's the big one.
Yeah, same as Xbox Elite controller. You can do all that.
Does the profiling too?
Yeah, I mean, you can switch between profiles. Yeah, it's not like automatic where like if you start up a game, it knows you're on that game. You have
right.
Manually switch it. You know?
Yeah, I flick it over. I like it a lot. I definitely that's in my wheelhouse of controllers to try next. I did the Scuff. I like the Scuff. I got an Astro. I like the Astro more. So right now, the Astro is my favorite custom controller I've ever had. Yeah, I'm gonna keep flipping around and looking and checking out different controllers and stuff. I like to see what is what.
You're an asshole.
Why?
Oh, just like stating facts. That's all.
Oh, cool. Go fuck yourself. Piece of shit. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call it there. This has been
good hard
episode.
end.
Yeah, it's another episode or whatever the fuck this is. So we are enjoying doing this. It's super duper fun, and we're not really doing a whole lot of setup, so to speak. So we're kind of just fucking off, starting it up and talking. There's a handful of things that we kind of discuss like a minute before we fucking do the podcast. But if you guys have shit you guys want us to talk about, because we're going to be doing this every other week. So not this episode will be out on Wednesday. That's you're listening to it. And then a week will pass to the next episode as of today's date, which is 8/26. The next episode will be shot on the 9th and then released on the 11th is when we'll be speaking about that. So if anything comes up or anything you guys want us to talk about, fucking DM us or put them in the YouTube comment section. We're also going to be making a YouTube specifically for this podcast. So they won't be on my channel anymore. So these 2 episodes will be re-uploaded by then onto that channel where you guys can find everything. I don't think we're going to make a Twitter individually for this. I think we'll just have it for you and I to do stuff. So just from our personal stuff like that. But if anyone wants to make a logo for this, please DM me somewhere. That would be really cool. Get a logo out there for it. Maybe a thumbnail or something.
Yeah, just a little turd and a little fart.
No.
Fart fluff.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing poop fart.
I swear to God, if we get 1 million viewers and all of them want poop fart, we're changing it to poop fart.
Well, of course, that's going to be a thing. But if we get 1 million viewers on a podcast that doesn't have a distinct name, I will be fucking floored. So yeah, I know a couple of you guys brought up some names. I forget them. I'll just be honest with you, I forget. So what I want to do is probably before the next podcast, we'll bounce some names out. I'll put a Twitter poll up and we'll leave it up for 3 days and see what it gets voted out to, and
all right,
see where it falls.
Here's what I got a little bit of fat and sassy.
Fat and sassy.
That's one that was thick and fluffy.
Thick and fluffy. I don't want to do fluffy because I get sued by Enrique Iglesias. So
No Neck and the Kid.
I heard No Neck and the Kid.
No Neck and the Stud works better for me, but
no.
These are all V Kid just throwing out fat.
Yeah, I think V did this too. I remember No Neck and the Kid coming from him. I remember one being wheelchair as well.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we'll throw some stuff together, but yeah, in the like the Twitter link that you guys will probably be finding this from, put some names in there. Let's come up with a name together. We'll get a logo together, try to get that for the third one. And do you want to do guests at all?
I mean, I don't think right away.
I was gonna say maybe like 4 more episodes or something, and then we do a guest.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll get like Nathan Fillion in here or something.
Yeah, he'd be cool. I mean, yeah. I can call Tom Cruise. He'd probably be down.
All right, I won't be there for that one because fuck that guy.
Dude, you don't want to roast this dude? I'm down as fuck to invite him on a podcast and just roast his ass. Where's he gonna go? You don't know how to use Discord. Come on.
You're gonna end up blowing him, and you know it.
Fuck. All right, guys. Well, in 5 episodes, I'm gonna blow Tom Cruise. So I hope you guys are still around for that one. We are out of here. And
No Neck, wheelchair, and the sassy stud. Catch you next time.
I fucking hate you. Bye.